Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a brand new episode of Chat. My name is Bryan Kearney. Absolutely delighted today to be joined by one half of Aly Fila. Fadi, how are you doing?
How are you, Brian? I'm good, man. Good. Been a long time.
It has been, man. It's been a while since I seen you. I think the last time I saw you was at ASOT last year.
Nice friends. That was the last time I saw you, yeah.
I briefly saw you. So I don't know, would that have been your last show since you played the last time, or did you have anything else?
No, I had like the weekend after. I think I had a couple of shows, and then the weekend after that was the last one where I actually flew from Cairo to Los Angeles.
Okay.
A show in Los Angeles, and I arrived in Los Angeles from Cairo, and they told me the show tomorrow is cancelled when I landed.
Really? Okay, so you just went home. So
and then I went
the first question I usually ask is, obviously we've all been involved in this situation together over the past 12 months. So is it the case that you've been in Egypt literally for the last 12 months and you haven't gone anywhere else?
Yeah, I've been in Egypt for the past 12 months. I didn't go anywhere. First of all, it's not easy to travel to any place. And I don't want to travel to a place and I have to worry about wearing the mask, worried of the other people. It's not going to be fun anyways, even if it's open for tourism, you know. Yeah. I was like, better stay in Egypt. We don't have that much of lockdowns. Actually, no lockdown. You can still go out in Egypt. You can go to a bar. You can go to a restaurant. It's easy, you know.
Yeah.
We are taking things in an easy.
A lot different to here.
I know.
We've been on a level 5 lockdown since just before Christmas, and there was literally just a break of about 3 weeks in between that from October. So we've basically been on the strictest of restrictions since October of last year, where nothing is open, non-essential retail is open. You can't even buy a book in a bookshop. They have the aisles closed off. This is how insane it is.
Yeah, Stuart told me, man. Stuart, I talk with Stuart every other day, and he was telling me that he's so bored that he don't know what to do. You know, he watched the whole Netflix.
Yeah, I think it's the same for it. It is really, really difficult, and I think I've sort of, from going through the podcast that I've done before, I think as the podcasts have progressed, you can sort of hear the change in my sort of attitude and my level of mental health, because the longer it's going on, it's getting harder and harder. Yeah. Especially like, because there's a limit. We can only travel 5 kilometers from our house for anything. Or you can only go for a non-essential reason. If you have a valid reason, say if you have to pick up medication or if you're looking after someone, and it's just it's insane what we're going through. And for me to hear how you're basically living, it's not much has changed. Would you say much has changed? Like if you weren't watching the news and hearing everything that's going on, would you be sort of aware that there is a pandemic going on living in Egypt at the moment?
They say that there is a pandemic for sure, but you know, like it's different here in Egypt. We're still a third world country. You know, those things are not that important for them. It's more important for people to continue their lives. People need to work. We cannot take the pressure. Like a lot of people here in Egypt, we are not a very rich country. You know, a lot of people, they rely on daily working. They work per hour. So imagine if those people has to stay home. Who will take care of them?
Yeah,
I don't think the government can't afford to pay everyone their monthly wages. No way. It can't happen. So they had to take like measures as much as possible. People wear masks and stuff like that, but still they have things open, which worked fine, to be frank. I don't see like that we had any really bad, maybe just 2 weeks or something last year when there was so many cases and the hospitals were so full, you know. Plus Egypt, like the population is mainly young. Yeah. Like 65% are young, you know, like less.
So the chances of them dying from the disease is quite
exactly
low. Yeah,
well, I think it worked out well. We were lucky in a way that we didn't have that much of bad like numbers.
Yeah.
Amount of people dying, it wasn't that much. So that's why they were like, maybe, okay, let's keep it open and see how it goes and take the risk, which worked out well so far, you know.
Yeah, I wish our government would adopt that sort of policy. It's like the what's the word? The average age, the life expectancy in Ireland is like 83 years of age, and the median age, the average age of people dying from this is somewhere from 86 to 89. So I know it's terrible for people to die and stuff, but I feel sometimes it's unfair that this virus seems to affect older people a lot more than younger people. So I find it difficult to understand how they can't protect the people who are most vulnerable, keep them at home, and if you're not really in danger of dying from it or anything like that, I think we should be allowed to continue working safely and let us get the economy back working in order so that we can build back up the economy and we can take care financially of the people who need to be looked after. Whereas I've found it really difficult, the fact that I'm on government support for almost a year now after I'm a very self-sufficient person. I like going out, working hard and earning my own money. So it's my sense of self-worth and sort of, I want to go out and work and earn my own money, and not having that is very, very difficult. And you're obviously, I know from you that you're one of the hardest working DJs in our scene as well. You take your career very seriously and you love working hard and you're traveling all the world and you work really hard. So have you found that really difficult to sort of not be able to continue on doing what you love doing so much?
That was the most difficult part, because for me, like, not only the fun of our job, but as you said, it's like a job, like every job. Forget about the fun part. Like, people look at us like we are just having fun, you know. But it's not only about that. It's also business, and not being able to make your, let's say, your wage, your monthly wage, like what you need monthly for you and your family. It hurts you, you know. And for example, you, at least your government are taking care, like they pay something to everyone who was working before the pandemic and kind of lost his job during the pandemic. In Egypt, nobody's paying me, you know?
Yeah.
So I have to live on my savings. And it kills you, like, because you don't know when it's going to come back.
That's the worst part. It's not.
That's the worst part. Yeah. You know, if you tell me, listen, Fadi, you have 2 years off.
Yeah.
It will be 100% back in January 2022.
Yeah.
Right. I'll take it.
Yeah. Same.
I'll be more relaxed.
Yeah.
But right now, like, always living the hope, you know. Yeah, it's gonna open in summer. People were saying that it's gonna open last summer.
I know.
That's what I'm worried about right now, that they are saying the same about this summer. And I'm worried that it would come to this summer and then everything gets canceled or postponed again. I don't know if I will be able to take it, like, mentally and everything. It's going to be too hard this time. So I'm really hoping that's all I can do is hope and cross my fingers that things will really open and this vaccine thing will really work out at the end.
And what have you found the most in terms of your mental health? What have you found the most difficult part of the past 12 months? Would it be not being able to do your job?
Yeah, that's definitely the hardest part. Definitely the hardest part.
It's like a fulfillment that we get is we sit in the studio, we make our music, we travel around the world, and that music connects with people, and we meet people from all across the world that we would never meet unless we did the job that we do. And the fact that we're not able to do that now, it has a very negative effect. It has on my own mental health and my own sense of achievement and all that type of thing. And to be honest with you, man, I don't know whether it's like, I feel at times where I think people are going to forget about me, because I'm not traveling doing my job and stuff. I know it's probably a stupid thing to say, and I
no, I don't think so, because it's supposed that it's on everyone. It's not like you are not doing your job, you're not doing your best. It's like, it's a fact that you have to face it, and nothing you can do. It's the same for me. That's how I thought about it. That's what made me more angry about the corona pandemic, is that there's nothing I can do. It's not like I didn't do my work. It's not like I was lazy. It's something out of my hands.
Yeah.
And it makes me more angry because I never thought about it.
Yeah. We never knew this would happen, no.
Yeah, I always, I didn't care. Honestly, me as a person also, I never was the big saver. I didn't save money that much. I didn't think about saving money because I was always, I want to have fun. I want to enjoy life. But I don't care. I didn't think about the money issue before. I was just enjoying my life. I knew I'm working hard. I knew we were doing good. So I shouldn't worry about the money part, because I was doing good. And, I knew that I'm working hard, doing my best. So it shouldn't be a problem. Never thought that this could happen.
Yeah.
So suddenly, no money. You're not making money. It's done.
I was actually only speaking to Edel because I told her I was doing the podcast with you today, and I asked her when I was trying to think back of experiences that we've had together, because we spend time on tours and doing stuff, and that's one of the things she said. She always remembered how you were very generous, and say if we were out for dinner, you'd pay for it. If we were having drinks, you'd pay for it, and that sort of ties in with what you were saying there. You're
exactly.
a person.
Yeah, exactly.
You enjoy your life, and
exactly.
The thing that it's hurting you now that you can't go out and earn that money, and you probably feel like I probably should have saved a bit more.
Exactly. That's also what I'm thinking about all the time. I should have been a bit more responsible. I'm married. I have 2 kids. I should be more responsible, and that's a lesson that I learned from that. There are a lot of lessons that we learned from this pandemic, for sure. It's a positive thing also, that at least it's not too late. What if I was maybe 60 years old and this happened, and maybe I don't have that much time in this business, or maybe I'm out of the business already. You know what I mean? So it's good that it happened to us now, and we learned the lesson, and at least I'll be more cautious. I want to be me, I want to have fun, enjoy life, but at least be more responsible,
Yeah.
Regarding the money, the financial part.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Yeah, it's tough. I don't know, have you been doing much in terms of streaming and stuff to keep the music coming or anything like that? Or
well, I'll tell you something.
What are you doing with your days? I've spoken to a few other people before, how we feel like our inspiration and our creative levels are nowhere near what they would be if we had shows to work towards. Have you found that the same for yourself over the past 12 months, or have you found yourself being able to create new music?
Yeah, I'll tell you something regarding the music. When it started, when the pandemic started, I was okay, I'm having 4 months off. It will be just 4 months,
yeah.
And it will be done. And I was so I was working in the studio like a machine. I made so many tracks, worked so on music. I was really positive. Things will open. Let's use this 4 or 5 months to do a lot of music. Get ready when it's open again. You have a lot of new music that you can release for the next 2 years or something.
Yeah.
And I was very enthusiastic about it. But then every time now you get hope, you kind of you feel no, it's not going to happen,
Yeah.
So you go back 10 steps back, and so on.
It's the only glimmer of hope. I think that about 2 weeks ago was the first time in a long time where I had a conversation with my manager, and he was actually enthusiastic about the future, and he was after receiving a number of inquiries looking forward. So that was, for me, it gave me a bit of a buzz, and it gave me a little bit of an inspiration to sort of, right, let's get my head down and let's make a lot of new music for this time. So it's been nice. I'm sure you've been speaking to Stuart. He's been filling you in on stuff. The UK seems to have a little bit of hope with regards to shows. Just a glimmer. Whether they go ahead now or not is another thing. You'd like to think that they would, but just to have that little bit of a positive phone call for the first time in a long time, it did a lot for my own mood, my own mental health, and to give me a little bit of inspiration looking forward. So have you been having phone calls? Are you optimistic about what's going to happen for the rest of the year? Or are you sort of...
I am very optimistic. I'm very optimistic, Brian. Same, Stuart has been filling me with like the inquiries and everything, but at the same time, I feel like I'm kind of like, I don't trust governments anymore, or I don't know what's true. I don't know what's really happening. Are they telling us, or for example in the UK, are they telling you that things will be opened back to normal on the 21st of June, just to make people,
just to back off,
relax. They don't want to tell you, like, it's the same like when you hear a bad news and they don't want to tell you the bad news like one time, they want to keep it on different times, to build up the bad news. I hope I'm wrong, but I really hope it really opens on the 21st of June, like they said, and the same will happen in the rest of the world. They say the same in the US. They are opening very soon. Some states are open now, and there are parties and clubs working. Yeah,
that's the thing I don't understand, Fadi. How can like the likes of Florida and Texas, I think, have been open for business? They haven't really done many lockdowns or anything like that. So how is it that they can open up? All these other places can't. Why are we under such stricter restrictions when other places seem to be getting on with their lives?
I don't get it. I don't
know, man. It's just from the very start, there's something just feels very, very strange about all of this. Maybe that's just a way for me to sort of protect my mind from what terrible about the dangers of the actual virus, or maybe it's just me questioning what's really going on and wondering, like I think the more you grow up, the more you become aware of how fucked up life really can be. I think as the younger you are, the more naive you are, and as you get older, you start to see that things aren't as it's not like the movies. Life isn't like the movies,
Well, I don't know, man. I don't want to to be too suspicious, but this, in fact, like how the world works, it's all about money.
It's always about money. Everything is about money. Yeah.
Money is the force that controls the world.
Yeah.
And everything that you see on your daily life is related to money. So I don't want to say that this thing that happened, this pandemic, is related to money, but it could be,
It could be like there was a financial crisis 12, 13 years ago that to do with the banks. Who's to say this isn't part of it? The next financial crisis is just, it's been done in a different way. Like, I hope I'm wrong, Fadi. I hope I'm wrong about all my suspicions. I'd love to think.
Me too.
I'd love to think that
if it's true, then we are living in an evil world. That's for sure.
Yeah, I'd love to hope that our governments have our best interests at heart, and
exactly.
But I don't know, man. I don't know. It's just the longer this goes on, and the more stricter everything is a crime now. Like to see your friends, to hug your mother, to go and see her, it's insane. I never ever thought I'd live in a world like we are living in at the moment. It's absolutely crazy.
I know. I never, like, if you have told me this will happen like a few years ago, I would tell you, no way, man. No. I thought at the start when the whole thing started, I saw the news about what's happening in China, I thought it's gonna be like just few weeks, something is happening in China, and that's it. It's gonna stop. It's not gonna go anywhere else. But I was surprised, man, how it's the speed of how fast it really did spread. It's ridiculous. And then it got out of control. It's nothing you can do anymore. It's a fact.
It's absolutely crazy. But I've talked about it before where in Ireland, if you get knocked down or in a car accident and you go in and you test positive for COVID, even though you're in a car accident, you'll go down as a COVID death. And I have the video. I'll post it in along with this. And this is because they do it based on the advice of the World Health Organization. So I think every country in the world is going along the advice of the World Health Organization. So that means that this is going on all over the world. So this is what makes me even more suspicious of what's going on, because can we really trust the numbers of what's actually happening? This year, I wouldn't have never really have considered myself a very skeptical person. I would have been sort of very trustworthy, and I would have just sort of got on with my life and enjoyed it and that. But the past year has made me really skeptical about life, people, and what's really going on.
Human beings in general.
Sorry?
Human beings in general.
Yes, yeah. It's crazy, man. Because, can you honestly see us, say, going back to play in like Asia or anywhere like that anytime soon?
I think so.
No, not this year anyway, I don't think.
Why?
Why do I not think so?
Yeah.
Do you think we will?
Yeah.
Really? Asia and stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so. Like I already saw, like during the past months, there were tours of a lot of DJs playing in China, for example, where everything happened.
Yeah, but does that involve like a quarantine for 2 weeks and stuff before?
Yeah, definitely. Same as Taiwan. Like we got offers to play in Taiwan in the past couple of months, and you had to quarantine for 2 weeks before the shows.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't make my point very well. What I meant was that type of touring where you're just flying in, you do your show, and then say we fly from say Thailand to say Korea, and then you do a show there the next night. I think it's a long way away from.
Yeah.
That's what I meant. Sorry, man.
Yeah. You mean like touring in Asia before? No.
Yeah.
Depends, Bryan. I don't know if things work well with the vaccine, and maybe I'm not sure. I cannot say. Maybe we will have to quarantine for 2 weeks, maybe until the end of the year. We will have to do that to be able to do shows in Asia. I don't know.
Would that be something you consider doing?
Honestly, I think maybe I would do it if this the only thing I can do to be able to go back to what I'm used to do.
Yeah,
I would do. It would be crazy to be staying 2 weeks alone in a hotel room, not being able to speak to anyone or see anyone.
Dangerous.
It's gonna be like maybe end up like
Yeah, that's something that concerns the thoughts of being in a room for 2 weeks where you're not allowed to open the window and you're not allowed outside or see anyone.
Yeah, it's very hard.
That's a mental challenge, I think, man. Yeah. Very, very challenging.
Yeah, but I don't know, Bryan. I'm just hoping that at least things will open for at least this summer, because I saw some, like, so far there are a lot of good news. Like, you can be a little bit optimistic about things, because you see, like, Bo posted something about Luminosity Beach Festival, that it looks like it could happen in July. Maybe it's too optimistic, but this is what I
didn't actually see that. Didn't see that. Yeah, the main festival.
He posted about it. I think it was from his personal account.
Okay, yeah. I didn't actually see that. Yeah, well, that's good news. I haven't played that for a couple of years, so you know yourself, man. That's one you'd always look forward to playing.
Yesterday, Joris Voorn had a gig in Holland. Like, they were testing
test event.
Yeah, 1,500 people. So at least something is happening, something is moving, without social distancing, without masks, nothing. I think they had this rapid test thing.
Yeah.
So maybe.
You'd like to think that they've learned a lot over the past year in terms of how this all works, and that they can use that information to help certain sectors like the dance industry, like the aviation industry, to help them open up and get back to work, because so many people are affected by this, and it's difficult for me because the people in charge and controlling the decisions, they've never been put on government support. They haven't had everything taken away from them. They're probably making more money now than they've ever made in their whole lives. Yeah. So they don't care how long this goes on for, because it's not affecting them. But they need to see how much it is affecting the likes of you, the likes of me, and not being able to do our work. It's horrible for us. So we need some hope. We need to see a clear plan of how we are going to get back to work. So that's the thing that annoys me most about living in Ireland at the moment. We are given no roadmap about how this is going to end or how we're going to get back to work or anything like that. It's very, very difficult for not just for myself, but for people in hospitalities, the work in hotels, aviation, like the pubs and bars. They're the ones that they're being blamed for all of this, and they haven't even been allowed to open for the past year because they think if they open the bars, the cases will go crazy. And but what happens is the government spin it in a way that it's nothing got to do with how what they're doing is a flawed way of doing things. It comes back on us because we are going out, we're seeing people, we're talking to too many people, and we're the ones who are at fault for everything. It's nothing got to do with them, and they're brilliant at doing that. You're talking about the vaccine and stuff. Last week in Ireland, they vaccinated 300 people in one day. I looked at a thing yesterday in the UK where they vaccinated 711,000 people, or they gave out 711,000 doses in 24 hours. But
so 300 people?
300 people in one day.
Man, 300 people, that's like... that's
one every 30 minutes or something, maybe. It's insane. So it's us at fault, and this is why I feel so angry about all of the stuff that's going on. It's our fault. It's what we're doing wrong, and it's nothing got to do with them. So for me, it's good to see the likes of the UK really working hard to do this right. So like in Egypt, are people being offered a vaccine, or is that how's it going over there? Yeah, how's it going?
They are starting now with the high risk people and the older ones, and then they will start, like, there is a website where you apply and then you wait for your turn, kind of thing. Okay. That's what worrying me also, to be frank, Brian. Like, I feel like we are being forced to have the vaccine because you won't be able to travel. That's what I'm hearing everywhere, that the EU passport thing, the vaccine passport, it feels like, and you have to have a certain vaccine to enter Europe. Not every vaccine, because I think the Chinese one and the Russian one are still not approved by the EU. So, for example, if now I get vaccinated by the Russian vaccine or the Chinese one, whatever Egypt gets, for example, and then I'm applying for the Schengen visa to work in summer.
Yeah.
Then they will tell me, no, you cannot get in because you don't have the Pfizer or whatever is approved in Europe. So what shall I do now? Shall I become like having all kind of vaccines so I can be able to travel everywhere, or what?
Yeah, like why? If you're not at risk, why? Like I don't think I've ever taken a vaccine before in my life. Are you concerned about what it could do to you physically, or do you just not like the way you're being told you have to do it in order to travel?
I'm concerned about the genetics part.
Yeah.
Like the ones that play with your
DNA, yeah.
I shouldn't be that because I know a lot of doctors and they told me like this is all like don't listen to the people who post videos on Facebook and saying like this is like the plan of the
world order,
the new world order to control us and have the chip inside our body and all this bullshit. This is too much to think about. But at the same time, why shall I take it? Why should I take the vaccine? Why do I need it? Like, I know many people, many friends of mine, like in Egypt, who were positive for COVID-19, and they didn't even have any symptoms. So why shall I worry? Yeah, we should worry about because they don't know yet everything about this COVID-19. Like this, from the way I see it, they don't know everything. They are not really sure about anything about this pandemic. But from what I see, as a normal person, not a doctor, not a scientist, not anything, I see a lot of people getting the COVID-19 and they don't have any symptoms, or maybe just few things, but it's not that bad.
No, it's not.
For certain people. But it could go really bad with other people,
Yeah, that's the strange thing. It affects people differently. Yeah, it's so strange.
Very unpredictable, and that's the hard part.
Yeah, like my best friend, his grandmother was going into hospital for an operation on her lungs, and she tested positive for COVID-19, but she's no symptoms. And a lungs would be be one of the worst underlying conditions that you could have for this virus. So it's very strange.
It's very strange. That's why I don't get it. Like how to really control it. How maybe also the governments are also, they don't know what to do. Maybe it's too much for them to handle. Maybe there are a lot of maybes. And what's the truth? You will never know. It's the same like what happened in 9/11.
Yeah, that's a fascinating subject for me.
A lot of theories, you will never know what did really happen. You will never, unfortunately.
Or who shot JFK and all these
who historical things. You don't know. And it will stay like that until we die. We will never know the truth.
Yeah, but
so that's what I think.
Yeah, coming back to the insanity of 2020, like even the stuff that was going on in America with Donald Trump and all the protests and the storm in the Capitol building.
That was funny.
That's crazier than anything you could ever see in any movie. But this is.
I never thought that this would happen in the US. No way. Especially the capital part. Where people
I love America. I think it's the craziest country in the world. I absolutely love going there, but I never ever thought it would see this level of craziness over there.
No way. Yeah.
Mental. But,
man,
I know, but
it's a strange year, definitely.
Oh, insane. But coming back to the past 12 months, and you've been stuck at home in Egypt. I know from speaking to you before how much you've missed your kids, and being away from them had a really bad effect on you. I suppose you being at home and getting to spend so much time with them has probably been one of the best things that could possibly have happened. So has that been one of the positives of the past 12 months?
Definitely the biggest positive thing, that now they feel that they have a father, finally. Because before I was like a kind of a tourist at home, I come back from touring, I'm so dead, tired, exhausted. And I need like 1 or 2 days to come back to being a normal human being, And then by the time I'm back to being a normal human being and I'm ready to travel again. So for them, it wasn't the best thing, because, and they were too little at that time, So this year they are more like much bigger now. And there's more interaction that we have. So it was actually a really good thing that I had this year with them, to enjoy every single minute or second they are awake,
So would you have had a sort of a guilt with being away from them for so long and sort of missing out on so much?
Yeah, definitely. I used to have this guilt all the time when I was traveling before the pandemic. I used to have this guilt all the time. Like, why I'm doing this, why I'm doing that, why I'm not with my kids, why I'm missing his or her birthday. Is it worth it? Is this life? I used to like many times to talk with my wife and tell her, listen, I want to stop this. I'm done. I'm not enjoying that anymore. I want to live. I want to stay home as much as possible, But that's the thing. We are never happy where we are.
No, no.
Whatever you do, you will never be 100% happy with what you have. For example, like I wanted to stay home, before the pandemic. I was like, I want to stay home for 1 year or something. And now when I stayed home, I want to leave back, So
it's probably a little bit different because it's not your choice to stay home.
Yeah, you're forced to. Yeah, it's different.
But it's really good that you've found that positive over the past 12 months, where you've had that opportunity to connect more with your kids, to be present with them. You're not just sort of on autopilot when you're around them. So
yeah, and it's very important for them and for their personality and everything, and for them to feel that their dad is there for them. It's very important because it's not. It's a job that two people needs to do. The mother and the father needs to help the kids to form their personality.
Yeah.
So if one is missing, I don't think it's correct. I think they need to have both of them really like there in their daily life. So I don't know how I will do it. Like they ask me a lot, the kids. They are telling me like, Papa, when the coronavirus is gone, are you gonna leave again? And I feel so bad. I'm like, yeah, I have to leave because I have to work. I have to make money to get you all the nice stuff you want. So they are like, okay, if you're gonna get us some nice stuff, we can go.
Yeah, you're being bribed. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So along that as well, like. When you're away traveling, and this, I say for me as well, like, do you ever find it difficult to adjust back into that normality of your life after being away touring and traveling all over the world in first class, business class, and having everything done for you, and being on stage and going from the high of being on stage to the low of sort of then back on the plane all by yourself and it's over? Do you find that difficult, sort of, when you were traveling and doing our work? Did you find it difficult to be able to just go back to your normal life straight away, or did it take you like a few days to sort of decompress?
It takes like 1 or 2 days, mainly not because of where I was and where I am now. It's because mainly of like just it's a hectic thing to do, like being touring, like for example, a weekend you have like a Friday, Saturday, Sunday gigs in summer, and even a Thursday, and then you finish that and you're completely dead, and then you go back home and you need like a day or two to just get your house back. Yeah. That's the hardest part. But for me, when I'm going back home, I'm actually excited and happy because I'm going to see the kids, and that's that part I don't have a problem with, like leaving all this and going back home. Like for example, in summer, what I used to do, that was the best I can do. Like in summer, like I used to take my wife and the kids, and we stayed the whole summer in Ibiza. So if I have shows in Ibiza, that's easy. If I need to go to Tomorrowland or any festival, I go just the day of the event. And then the day after I go back to Ibiza, which is really cool, spend the time with the kids, go to the beach, whatever. So the summer part is really perfect for me, not easy. But the rest of the year is where I have a problem.
Yeah.
Because you need to travel to go to Asia, you go to the US, you go to South America, you go to Australia. The summer is easy because most of it is in Europe. So it's easy. Like if I'm staying in Europe the whole summer, it works out well for me, easy. And actually the kids loves it.
What age are your kids now?
Naguib, my son, is just turned 7, sorry.
Just take it there, Jesus.
So he turned 7 yesterday. And Karine, my girl, she's 5. So 5 and 7.
Did they enjoy living in Ibiza?
Man, they love it. They love it so much. They really like it. They love that you can wake up, nothing you can do other than you go to the beach, enjoy the whole day. nice air, fresh air. It's they love this. I actually wanted to make sure to have this seed in them, to see
start them off early.
They love Ibiza because I love it so much, and they really like it. They've been asking me when are going to Ibiza. We want to go to Ibiza. I'm like, we can't.
And are they aware of what you? Are they of the age now where they're aware of what you do for your job, or do they just still see you as dad?
No, they know exactly what I'm doing, and they actually watch on YouTube the videos, and they show their friends, and they show off with their friends. Like, look, my dad.
You're still cool. You're still cool.
Yeah. And they actually like our music. That's the best part. They like when we get in the car, like going to school, dropping them. They ask for certain tracks. Like my son is he loves Beyond the Lights. He always like, please put Beyond the Lights.
That's always a really good
cute,
sign. Yeah. If a child likes a song, that's a sign of a hit song.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
No, I love that. It's so cute that you see them like really enjoying the music, and even like with the vocal tracks, they sing the lyrics, and it's really cool.
Any plans to get him into the DJing game, or would you rather him pursue
I will never
force
it. I will never force it. No, I will. I want them to start like learn an instrument. Anyways, that's good to have it in their life, like to learn an instrument. Either they like it, and if they don't like it, then I will stop it. No forcing.
Yeah,
that's how I deal with the kids. I will never force them on anything. Unless I want to keep them away from something bad.
Yeah, that's to let them live their own lives, not trying to force your own way of how you want it to be. Yeah.
How because I'm a musician and a DJ, they need to have to they need to do the same. No.
Yeah.
Let them find their way. Let them do what they really like. If they love what I'm doing and they want to do it, fine. There you go. You have a studio already. You can free studio.
Definitely, yeah. They'll have a head start over a lot of other people for sure.
And a lot of projects, a lot of templates.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool, man. But coming back to the music, I think one of the first times I spent time with you and sort of got to know you was at Eurofest maybe 10 years ago. Remember we did the
Mexico.
In Mexico, yeah.
Yeah.
The back-to-back.
When we had to wear the
sombrero.
Yeah, sombrero.
And I think it was me, you, Askew, and Indecent Noise played back-to-back. And do you remember the chili eating competition that we went to
afterwards? Yeah, definitely. Was just
I honestly thought I was going to die. I was way too brave. Ate too much of this Mexican chili, and I'd say I drank about 10 liters of water, and I still felt like my head was going to explode, man. Yeah, but that I was just thinking back, like that's one thing I've really missed as well. Like the shows and playing and all that, they're great, but the best part of our job is that. It's that part away from the stage where you're sort of you're with people and you're having a laugh and you're getting to know them. And I remember then we were in Australia in 2013 for Stereosonic for 2 weeks, and just that getting to know people and going out for drinks and going out for dinner and spending time together and getting to know each other more on a personal level. That's the best part of our job.
I used to love Stereosonic, man. Because of the idea of traveling 2 weeks in Australia, spending time with all like the crew, the DJs, and it was so much fun, man. That is, like you said, is the best part, more than the events themselves.
Yeah,
like spending time with other people, getting to know them, enjoy life. This proper enjoying life.
Yeah, even like it's not even the people that we normally speak to. I remember I was with the Hot Since '82. Yeah. And I was speaking to him for maybe 2 or 3 hours, and we didn't talk about anything got to do with music. We were actually talking about 9/11. Funny enough that you spoke about earlier on, we were talking about certain documentaries we watched, and it was mad. But that's the great. You're getting to know people on a human level, and I think sometimes that get lost in our work. I think we get caught up. There's a lot of competition and we're all trying to fight for shows and be the best and stuff. But when you actually, like, when you take the time away from all that, like, we're all just human and we're all in it for the same reason. And when you get to know the people a bit more, that's the best part of our job, I think.
I agree with you. That's the worst part in life in general, competition.
Yeah.
And rankings. Like, imagine music business without rankings, without charts. How cool will be that?
Very cool.
No ego. No, I'm better than you. I'm higher than you. People like me more than you. Blah blah blah. If you have, it will never happen. I know, because it's related to business, and like I said before, money is the one leading everything.
Yeah.
So people won't allow this to happen just because they can make more money because of those rankings, because of those numbers. But at the end of the day, it will be better for you, for me, for everyone, that there are no rankings, there are no charts. We are all doing good. We are all great musicians, and we are on our own way. And people like you, people like me, people like you will always find your fans anyways. So we can all have fun instead and make a living at the same time and have fun.
It's not even a competition. We're not in competition. There's plenty of shows. There's plenty of gigs everywhere.
Yeah.
As long as we just work as hard as we can, being creative and doing what we do best, there's always going to be shows. And it's not about me being better than someone else or you being better than them. It's just about being the best version of yourself and creating and doing it in a right way. I think there's always going to be shows for us. There's always going to be money out there.
It's not like because you are better or this guy is better, that you won't have shows and he will have shows. No, it doesn't work like that. I can see everyone, like, from a certain area of the DJs, they play every week anyways.
Yeah.
Even if they are doing better than someone or doing not better than someone else, they are still touring and they're still doing good, I don't see the problem. Like, I hate that, and I wish it could happen, like I said, music without rankings, but I don't see it happening anyways. But all I wish, like what I learned in that period of the past 1 year, is like, is it worth it? Like, all this fighting, all this challenging, why? What's the benefit?
Bullshit, man.
It's bullshit. I actually want to go for a gig, have fun with the other guys, enjoy it. If the people in front of us are happy, that's what's more important, and that's our job, to make them all the whole lineup is the job, that to make the people in front of them happy and forget all the problems they have been to the past week or the past month or whatever. People come to our parties to enjoy it and forget about their problems.
Yeah, to let go.
To let go.
I was thinking back over the few years and thinking about some embarrassing moments. And one of my most embarrassing moments was when I was playing at FSOE in Prague. And we were doing my interview on the radio afterwards. And I accidentally said, it's been great to play at ASO.
ASO, yeah, I remember that, yeah.
My head was wrecked about that for about 2 or 3 months afterwards.
I even do this. I do this mistake. I did it before.
I was just after finishing playing. I was on the high after finishing playing, and I wasn't really aware of what I was saying. Have you had many embarrassing moments similar to that?
Man, so many embarrassing moments. Well, the most one, let's think about the most embarrassing one.
You ever press stop on the wrong deck?
Oh man, I remember that was like the worst one ever, like I had in my life. It was actually a long time ago when we started making a buzz. Like, there is this duo, Aly Fila from Egypt, doing like this buzz, blah blah blah. And then I had and Stuart, my manager, I caught you on Gate Crasher. This was like a dream, like playing a Gate Crasher. And it was my debut in Gate Crasher, So I went, and I was so worried. Like, I was like, at that time I got before any show, I was like really worried. Like, I don't want to do any mistake, nothing. I want to do really good. And I was like, always like under so much pressure, you know? So the gig happened and I went to play, and man, I was like, every mix was like a disaster. At the start, like the first 3 or 4 mixes was a disaster, like disaster. And I was like, if every time this happens, I was like losing more confidence. So you're making more mistakes. And I was like, oh, all I'm thinking about is like, my future is done. I'm not playing. I'm not playing here anymore. I'm done. Like, people will say that this is shit. Like, why do you book these guys? You know. But it passed. Like, thank God, people. Actually, some people enjoy the set. You know, and it passed. People forget. So the time after, I had more confidence, and the more confidence I had, I was like being able to perform better. You know. Yeah. So at the start, it was very, very rough for me. You know, because I was always so worried about the performance. I'm making a mistake, so I did mistakes, you know. So, yeah.
Probably cared too much. That's the problem.
Yeah, and you care too much, and when you are afraid of something, it happens. That's the problem.
Yeah.
So, that was the worst one. I was like on stage, light on you, and I look like a stupid, you know. Sorry guys, I'm so sorry for what I'm doing, but it happened, you know. But it passed. Yeah. But that was the most embarrassing one, like, I had ever.
Yeah. So I was thinking back then as well. Do you remember we were at the Winter Music Conference in 2014, and we all stayed in the villa? I think did you sleep in a wardrobe? You ended up sleeping.
I ended up. I couldn't find a place to sleep. I remember it was like we were too many people at the start, like too many DJs that we were supposed to share this together, and everyone will have a place to sleep. So there were more DJs, more people than the beds, anyways. And then every DJ after the party had friends with him to the villa. So there were like at least 5-6 times the people who were supposed to be in the villa at that time.
Yeah.
So you found like everywhere I was walking, I found people sleeping on the floor. You know, I remember what was it? I think who was it? Like the friends from what was his name? The Finnish guys.
Orkidea,
his friends. You remember? Oh, man.
I just remember Sid Van Riel. I don't think he slept for a week. He had the same clothes on for a week.
Every time you wake up, Sid is already with a beer and a smoke, and hey, what's up?
What was it? Remember there was a traffic cone in the house, and you woke up, somebody screaming something through the cone. Remember that?
That was also a really special week, man. Yeah. That was so much fun.
That's what I mean, man. These are the best parts of a job. Those type of moments where you're spending. It's nothing got to do with where you're playing or what you're doing. It's those moments, getting to know people and spending that time together.
We were all together under the same. It was the same.
It was 24/7. Yeah.
24/7. Yeah. Yeah, man. I miss the guy.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to come on to next. Obviously. Last year, Dimitri Devitt. Obviously, you were probably obviously a lot closer to him than I was. I only worked with Dimitri for a short while, but he had pancreatic cancer. He had a very short battle, and that's exactly the same cancer that my father died from 5 years ago. So I know how sudden it sets in, and how quickly they go, and how quickly they deteriorate. So obviously, that must have been a very, very difficult moment for you last year.
Oh man, that was a terrible moment, because I met him in South of France in February. You know, and
I remember seeing him at Fadi. He looked really well. He was after.
Yeah, he lost so much weight, and he was taking care of his health.
Yeah,
and he was doing good, and he was happy. I didn't see any problem. And suddenly, I heard that this is happening, and boom, he passed away.
I heard he had a really good attitude towards it, though. He was sort of accepting of it. He didn't really.
He didn't fight it.
He lived his life and sort of.
He was like, I'm going to enjoy, get the best out of my last days, and this was actually his personality. He wants to enjoy life.
He was a good guy,
really good guy, and very good guy in a terrible business, but he enjoyed life. He was like, okay, I'm not gonna take anything from myself just to fight this. I'm gonna fight it with enjoying my life, whatever. Like, however, if I have those amount of days to live, I will live them in full. You
really miss him.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I think, for example, if I traveled especially to Ibiza this summer, it would be very, very like strange for me not having Dimitri in Ibiza. Like, even when we weren't working with him, like since 2 years or a year and a half, we stopped working together. We stayed friends, really good friends. And whenever I'm in Ibiza, we go out. We even go out party at night. Go out for food, for drinks. He was always the fun guy. Never like having like a boring moment with him. He's full of fun. Such a happy soul. His energy was something else. When you're with him, 100% you're gonna have fun. That's it. Yeah. You're gonna laugh. You're gonna enjoy it. That's Dimitri.
Yeah. I remember I was playing at Amnesia. I think it was maybe 2015. I was playing in the main room, but Eric Perez was playing in the terrace, and he was someone that I've always wanted to go and see. So I finished my set in the. I don't know. I think I was doing a closing set, but Eric Perez was on in the terrace. So I came to the show early because I wanted to see Eric Perez play, and I was sort of standing at the back of the DJ booth, and Dimitri was with me, and I remember just sort of talking to Dimitri, watching Perez's set, and the two of us were absolutely loving it. I'm a big, huge Eric Perez fan. He's a genius, and I just remember having a laugh with Dimitri, and he was just a really good guy, man. Really good guy.
Man, really good guy. That's also what made me feel like, man, how life sucks. Like, when you start losing, like close people to you, it's so different than anything else. Because, like, recently, I'm happy that I didn't lose that many people that was close to me. That so far I'm happy with that. Like, but when this happened, like, Dimitri is like, I think one of the first person that are really close to me that passed away. So for me, it was a shock. It was something new for me, and I was like, really, that's how it feels. It's not, and I have to get used to it, because the more we live, the more we will lose people that we care about and love. And that's the thing, the shitty part about life.
Yeah, that's as you get older, you realize that life isn't a movie. It gets serious the older you get.
Yeah, it gets so serious. I wish I can go back like 20 years more, 25 years, and just enjoy life. Go have fun, and that's it. You don't think about anything else. Now it's different. You have to think about so many things, and I'm like, why?
I know, life was so easy.
Yeah, it was so easy. Exactly. Yeah, but now it's hard. It's definitely hard. It's not that easy at all. And you have to have the right mentality, because your brain is like your biggest enemy, in my opinion.
It's your greatest friend as well.
But still, it's the worst enemy, man. You can create a problem for yourself without that problem is being there. Anyways, you can imagine a problem and it's not there, but you will live in that problem because your brain made you think that there is a problem.
Sorry, go ahead.
I see many people, like, they have a lot of problems just because of the way they think. That's it. Not only because of the problem itself. There are no problems, but they make themselves live in a problem that's not there. Too much thinking is very wrong, in my opinion. The too much thinking. Just try to take it easy. That's what I'm trying to do, to relax my brain.
And have you struggled with your thinking in the past year with everything that's going on?
Yes, definitely. Like the too much thinking part is, it hurts you at the end. What if this happened? What if that happened? What if, when it happens, let's see, but all the time thinking about what if, come on, it's too much information for your brain that cannot handle, in my opinion. That will make you react wrong.
You're thinking of what if rather than focusing on what is.
Yeah, exactly. What if, the most important, what is it? More than what if it would happen. Why would you live worried of something that didn't happen?
Is that something that, would you consider yourself to have had those type of thoughts before last year, or is this something that you've sort of always had? Would you have always been someone who sort of overthinks and worries and...
Yeah, I used to overthink things. I used to overworry things. Like I said, for example, about what happened to me at my Gatecrasher debut. All that problem was I'm overthinking. If I was like cool and relaxed, I wouldn't have had that problem. You know what I mean? Like, it's the same. Like, there was a part of my life that I used to really fear flying, for example.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah. I had a part because I had a very bad incident where we were kind of crashing, Long time.
What was that?
That's, I would say, 20 years ago.
And can you describe where you were flying and what happened?
I was flying from Vienna to Berlin. I was going to the Love Parade as a clubber.
Okay.
Not a DJ. I was going to party, So I was going from Vienna. I had a transit in Vienna. Going to Berlin. It's a 50 minutes flight. Nothing.
Yeah.
Minute flights. Boom, boom,
Yeah.
And then when we took off, the captain started saying that it's going to be shaking because there is actually a storm around the Berlin area. It might get too tough because it's a really strong storm, but we're going to try to avoid it and land. Cool. Sounds, I never thought about any problem about flying, I was like, cool. I never had a problem with flying. And then the 50-minute flight ended up being a 3 hours and a half flight. Because he had to go around and around and around and around because he couldn't land because of the storm.
Okay.
And the 3 hours and a half are like ridiculously bad. Like really like not the normal shaking. It wasn't the normal one.
Yeah.
It was a really strong turbulence, and I thought at one time he's losing control of the plane. And then the captain was like talking to us and saying, and I swear this what happened. He said like we ran and we don't have any more fuel, and we have to land. And God save us.
Fuck.
And that was the moment, like when we were landing, it was terrible, man. It was terrible. People were like screaming, people crying. It was a really bad experience. And when I landed, I don't know, like I was like mentally like fucked,
Yeah, it's a trauma, almost like a trauma.
It's a trauma, exactly. Even like I remember when we went out in the area where you get the luggage. I had a cigarette inside the airport in Berlin. I was like, fuck it. I was so like, it was so tense.
Yeah.
And after that, I had like maybe around 2 years, really like
anxious getting on planes.
I'm getting on plane. I used to like, I was supposed to travel this place. I get to the airport, have few drinks, to get. I didn't help actually the drinks, and then getting on the plane and get out. I used to get out at the end before the move and take off. I said no, I'm not flying. It happened to me so many times.
And did you have to sort of work on that, or did it just come to the stage where you did that much flying where you sort of just let go of that fear?
Well, I tell you something. I think it's related. It's mostly related with the size of the plane. Like it was like the I think it was the 737 or something like that. Like it got better eventually when I used to travel like mostly on like bigger planes. I get more relaxed. I feel like when there is more space and in a bigger plane, better seat and everything, I get more relaxed. And it worked from that. Like after that, then like recently, I'm much better, with that. But I always have to travel with an airline that I trust. Like if I have to fly to a show with an airline that I don't trust, and this is the only airline that travels there, I'm not doing the show. Because I don't want to be like that in that place anymore. So I always travel with the airlines I trust, with the aircraft that I prefer. That's what I try to do always. And I give so much hard time to Stuart with that, to find the proper airline with the proper aircraft. Yeah. But that's how it makes it easier for me, like mentally and to travel. Because from that experience, man, it's terrible. When you experience something like that, it's terrible.
I don't think I've ever had one where the pilot has come on and said, God help us.
That's it.
I'd be scared. I'd be scared as well if that happened to me.
What? Yeah. You save us. Do something.
Yeah, that's quite an intense one. But like even over the past 12 months with regards to your mental health, has there been anything that you've done to sort of help the way you've been thinking about things? Do you think taking the time and spending it with your kids has been really beneficial for your overall, how your brain is working overall?
Yeah, man. Having the time with the kids, playing sports that I used to not to do when I was touring and everything, I didn't have time to do that. So playing sports, I'm playing actually tennis now, and I love it. And it's amazing the feeling you get when you play sports and you sweat. It's like you get a high, It's amazing. It's incredible. It makes your day beautiful. So I love doing that now. And I think even if I tour, I will have to do it. I want to continue on that. Eating a little bit more healthier than before, because also while touring, sometimes you just eat junk, so nowadays when I'm staying at home, like I eat much healthier, and all those things are helping with my mental health, helping with life in general. And like I said, also the kids, spending time with the kids and not feeling that I'm missing anything, or feeling that I'm a bad dad, that I'm not there, feeling guilty. The guilt feeling is not there. So everything is working together to forget about the problem I'm facing right now with not being able to work, it's balancing things.
Yeah, because that's the thing. Our job, it can be possibly the most unhealthy job you can possibly do, in terms of traveling all over the world, drinking, lack of sleep.
You're partying also, so that's makes it worse.
I try to avoid all that now, because I have to take care of myself. I'm sort of obsessive about my health, but just like lack of sleep, traveling all over the world, trying to adjust to different time zones, eating food at times of the day where you should be asleep, and vice versa. It can be a very, very unhealthy job, and it's something that you really do need to keep an eye on, because you can burn out very, very quickly.
Man, flying so much is so unhealthy. Really.
I know.
Like the way we fly is completely wrong. Like people, we fly more than pilots. I think the amount of hours we do in a plane every month is more than pilots. Like I remember, like I think Miles and More, like the Miles and More, the Lufthansa group thing, they have like a cool feature. They tell you like how many hours you do compared to the, like there is like a thing they tell you you're doing more hours than the pilots. You know, so when I saw that, I was like, what? This is insane. This is wrong. You know, like our style of living is very wrong, I think. But I know when it's gonna come back, I'll be like, a lot of people say that, I'll be more selective with the shows, blah, blah, blah. I'm not sure if I will do that. I want to, like, of course, if they are good shows, I want to do them all, you know. I want to do as much because we are addicts to our job.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's the problem. Like, I'm sure I will never be able to stop or quit DJing. No way. It will be a very hard decision to make. To say like, okay, I'm quitting DJing and music. Yeah, maybe music I can continue doing for the rest of my life. That's no problem. But the DJing part, it's an addiction. It's not easy to
drug. It's a high when you're on stage, when you play, that feeling, the connection, and you're addicted to it. I'm addicted to my work. Don't get me wrong, and that high of being on stage. And speaking about how unhealthy it is, a few years ago I was moving house, but I had I had shows in Australia on 2 separate weekends. But because I had so much to do with moving house, I flew over to Australia, did the 2 shows, flew home, had to deal with stuff during the week. 4 days later, flew back over to Australia and then flew home. So I had 4 flights, 4 24-hour flights in 8 days a few years ago.
That's crazy, man.
That's not good for your body.
No, it's not good at all.
No.
I remember I went to Sydney one night for State of Trance. I went Sydney one night and left the day after.
I think I was there with you.
Not that one.
Different one. Okay.
Different one. I remember that one when the incident happened.
Yeah, when I got bottles thrown at me for the show being shut down. Yeah.
Ah man, I remember you were so angry. I remember.
I was more upset than
you were so upset because you were so looking forward and you had everything ready for the set and you had the new music to play out, and I remember you were so passionate about it, and then it was taken away from you and you were like, no, you know, you couldn't accept it. I remember. I remember that day, man. No, it was a different one. I went for just one night to Sydney. It's very wrong. And then you flew to America or something. It's ridiculous, man.
Yeah, you probably landed in America before you actually took off. You went through so many. You were like in Back to the Future nearly.
Yeah, it's the same day.
Yeah, it's crazy what we put ourselves through. But to be honest, I can't wait to start doing all that stuff again.
Yeah, me too, man. Me too. And I will do it like full mode. I don't care. I just want to do it.
I really miss
it. Maybe try to take like a weekend off per month. You know, maybe that would be good for us to take just one weekend off per month. You know, but still, if for example, you get that weekend off you want to take, you get like a transmission or a State of Trance event, you will say no. No way, no chance.
I think I'm at the stage now where I would literally play anywhere now, anywhere.
Yeah.
No, none of this selective stuff. I would play at the opening of someone's front door at this stage.
Yeah.
But coming on to something, there's a place that me and you have no issues flying to. That's Argentina. I think the both of us have a mutual love for the place. I know people are probably sick of hearing DJs talking about Argentina.
Yeah, but everyone loves Argentina.
Yeah. I love the place. I love the people. I love going there. There's something just so special about the place, and I think
the magic place, and especially because of the people. I think the vibe they have, their energy is ridiculous. Like how they party, like it's something else. And if someone didn't see it, they have to see it because it's incredible. The energy, especially the energy,
passion
they have. It's exactly. It's the same. Like the passion they have for the music and the energy in every show, it's so different than any place in the world, and it makes you like fly, you know. without having any drink or anything. You just fly with them. It's that simple. I can play like 10 hours, 8 hours easy, no problem. I won't get bored 1 second.
Yeah.
Like every track, they go crazy, mental.
Yeah.
And incredible. The people are so passionate about what we do. They appreciate music in a different level, So it's the best place to go for sure. As a musician, as a DJ, as a performer, is the best place, easy. And I can't wait. Can you imagine after the pandemic how Argentina will be like? I don't want to imagine. It would be ridiculous.
Amazing. I can't wait to go back. But I was just thinking about, like, we obviously usually stay in the same hotel in Porto Madero, and you have the fans sort of waiting outside and just waiting there. And then when you come down and just speak to a few of them, the looks on their faces, they just appreciate it so much.
You make their day,
Yeah. But they're making our day.
Exactly. They don't know that.
Yeah, they need to know how much, what their energy and what their passion and their love for what we do, how that makes us feel about ourselves. It makes us feel like it makes everything worthwhile. Like that feeling when you're playing in Buenos Aires or Rosario or anywhere in Argentina, and you just look out and they're all doing this. And sometimes they don't look at you; they're looking at their friends. So they're just such an amazing nation of people, and how passionate they are. And I absolutely love going there. I love the people, and I love playing there. And I'm wondering if you remember in 2015, we went over for a state of trance in Buenos Aires, and we went for some food in the restaurant across from the Madeira Hotel. And there was you, there was myself, there was Snyder, there was Jordan Suckley, there was Ben Nicky, and Armin was there, and Christian, who would have been looking after the bookings and stuff over there. And I think it must have got out on Twitter or something where we were all eating out, or we posted a photo, and somehow they knew where we were. And the next thing, we looked outside and there was like 150, 200 people just nearly banging on the window trying to get us to come out. Yeah. And I remember you got Christian's motorbike helmet and you put it on. You walk straight out, and no one could recognize you. And I think you actually stole Christian's moped then, and you took it for a spin, and he was sort of running after you. But then all the fans were going straight for Armin, so he sort of got mobbed at the restaurant, and Adele was with me. So we sort of just walked out, sort of avoided a lot of them, and sort of. Well, I don't know whether some of them probably didn't know who it was. It was Armin was there, so everyone was trying to Armin. So I just remember you snuck out with the motorbike. It was brilliant, man. Brilliant memories.
I miss Christian Cousin, man. I miss the guy.
Yeah. That's the thing. We miss the characters, the people that we meet, and the people who look after us, and the people who put on these shows. And for me, I just hope that they survive all of this pandemic as well. Probably a bit selfish. I hope their businesses survive so that I can go and play for them again. But personally, I hope they get through it as well on the human side,
Yeah, definitely. Because imagine, I think a lot of promoters or people who are working in this business, like not only promoters, managers and stuff like that, they lost hope and they found other jobs because they cannot make any living out of it. So they have to do it. If they have families to take care of, what they gonna do? They have to move. And maybe when it comes back, maybe they will think to come back, but maybe it's too late also. So I really hope that it works out well with everyone, and that when we get back to do what we love to do, it will work out even better for everyone. Because I think, like I said before, the next 3 years, when it comes back, the 3 years after that, it will be ridiculous. I think people will be living just to party. not to do anything else. Like the people will party more than working because they really miss it. And but I hope also it won't be like dealt with like more people will jump into our business just to make the money out of it, not because they love it. Because they will see that they can make money out of this easily because people want to party. So that's also, I'm hoping not many of those will get into our business just to make money, you know.
Any particular special moments from your career that stand out more than others?
Well, definitely when we did Future Sound of Egypt by the Pyramids, that was definitely a huge moment for us. And especially the one we did with Armin by the Pyramids, that was a show that I'll never forget. It was ridiculous, man. It was really, really out of this world. The venue, the place, when you are there, the energy you feel is like out of this world. It's like you're on a different planet. Like when you see the pyramids, the Sphinx, and you're partying on the music you like, it was something else. That at that moment I felt I was so proud, like that we managed to get there from as a bedroom DJ and just doing music for fun and getting there. It was like something like, is this true or am I dreaming or did I really do that? You know,
it must be very special as for someone from Egypt to be able to play what you do and what you've worked so hard to do it at such like at one of the 7 wonders of the world, and for you know,
that was
huge achievement, man. Huge achievement.
Thanks, mate. It was at one moment I was like started to like kind of like getting some like you know, is it true? You know,
yeah.
I was like, it was so strong that I was like, wow, this is out of this world. I cannot believe that I managed. Like I'm getting like flashback of how I started and what I did and how much time it took to build what we have and to get there. It was like all like quick flashbacks. I was like, wow, enough. My brain, I cannot take it, you know. It was too intense, you know.
Yeah, a special moment for sure.
Yeah, man. I can't wait that we can do it. Hopefully again, you know, when things are back to normal. I would love to do at least one more time at this venue, you know. It's such a beautiful place, man. When you were in Egypt, did you visit the pyramids?
No, I was only in Sharm el-Sheikh.
So you didn't pass by Cairo, no? I remember you came straight.
We came straight. I think myself and Stuart flew over from Manchester straight to Sharm el-Sheikh.
Yeah.
But
no, definitely, man, you have to visit Cairo, man.
Definitely. Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely, man. Fadi, it's been an absolute pleasure speaking to you today. I really want to say thank you for coming on the podcast.
Thank you so much. I'm happy. I'm actually, this chat was really cool, man. It helps us also to chat like that with people that we care about and having those like this nice chats, man. That's amazing. I really like the idea of the show. You did it it's a perfect time to do that. But what will happen to the chat show when the pandemic is over?
It's just going to keep going. It might evolve. It might change.
Exactly. Man, I love the idea, man. It's really.
It started out as one specifically for people in the dance industry, but I don't think I should be that naive to pigeonhole it to that. I've been speaking to some other people some people who are involved with TV, and they could be coming on it. I want to speak to people about how it is a mental health, and it's showing the human side of people, who people might look up to if you're a fan of. It's seeing a different side, and I'm just want to speak to people to see how they're getting on, and hopefully they're doing okay, and hopefully as this progresses and things do improve, we can do the chats at say the day after a show where we can talk about how good it is to be back, and you know, the sky's the limit, man.
Man, you can do so much with the show, man. Congratulations for the show, and I can see a lot of great things for the show, man. I love the idea. It's different than what we have in the scene. it's really good to have this, and it's a great time to start something like that, because we as humans, we need to let out. We need to talk.
Yeah,
because
you're right.
keeping things for yourself doesn't help you. You need to talk. Let things out. Don't be shy to let things out. That's the problem. Like, people are always afraid to say something because they are afraid of the consequences. Will they be mad? Will they think that I'm a crazy guy? Will they think I need help? No, just let it out. Just think about yourself for one moment. Let it out, Don't think about what other people will think about you. So those chats are really, really helping people. Like, I'm sure, like, everyone who did the show with you already, they actually enjoyed it themselves to let out and talk and remember some great memories and all this stuff. It made my day. For example, now I'm much happier,
Cool,
that
man.
I talked with you, man. So
really, really happy. Really, really happy.
Thank you,
Fadi, thank you very much. You're a gentleman. I hopefully shall see it very near sometime in the future.
we'll party. You told me you stop partying. We'll party next time with me.
You have my word.
All right.
My word. Thank you very much, Fadi. Take care, mate. Thank you.
Cheers, mate.
Bye-bye.